Hey, today I want to talk about something that is very important to me and a lot of people that I do know that have family members who are experiencing diseases such as dementia, Alzheimer's, and things like that. My father has been diagnosed with dementia. It's been about 3 years now. I mentioned this in a video that I posted last year about my mother and how she is being a loving and devoted spouse to him and how she's taking care of him through this hard time. But now I want to discuss who he was and what he is now and how I'm handling it. I'm only doing this video because I know there's people out there who need the help and guidance too, because I want them to know that they're not alone, that there's others who are feeling the same thing, and a lot of people do not have someone to talk to. Basically, my father was diagnosed 3 years ago, and we started noticing things little by little, that his character was changing, that he was forgetting things and, not doing things that he normally would do. When he came here from Italy in the 70s, he was a TV repairman, so he knew how to do everything. You name it, he did it. He knew how to break up a TV, put it together, put all the pieces in, all that stuff. Like, so sharp, it's not even funny. And, even if you had anything to do in the house, electrical work, he did that. He was able to do anything. So 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, a friend of mine, her nephew, who's a great cook, was a guest on the Chew. So my friend went to work and totally forgot to record it. So she called me up and was like, Lou, can you do me a favor? Can you record the Chew for me, because I'm at work and I can't do it? I said, not a problem. You want to see a nephew? I'm not going to let you miss it. So I called my father because I was also at work. My father picks up the phone. I'm like, Dad, can you please record the Chew for my friend? He's like, I don't know how to do that. What do you want me to do? I don't understand. So I was like, how do you not understand? This is something you've done 100 times, billion times with the DVR box. You knew how to play with it. Now you can't press record and record a show for me? So I thought that was a little odd, but I kept explaining it to him, and he kept telling me he didn't know how to do it. I got extremely, extremely frustrated. I am not going to lie. I did lose my patience, because at this time, I was just like, maybe he just doesn't want to do it and he just wanted to be a ball buster. I don't know. So I left work. It's easy for me to leave work. It's in the area and I have no one to answer to. I just got up and bounced. Came home, did it, blah, blah, blah. No issue there. A few days later, I'm driving to work and I come across my father in his Jeep, and he's pulled over on the side of the road in the Jeep, looked dazed and confused, just sitting there, just staring. So I pull over alongside him too. So I'm like, Baba, but what are you doing over here? Why are you just sitting here? Are you waiting for someone? What's going on? He proceeds to tell me, I can't find my way home. I don't know how to get home from here. Really? You don't know how to get home from here? We only live like 8 blocks from here, and he has been here since the 70s. We lived in a neighborhood that was only 2-3 neighborhoods over, and then we moved here. Everything in Brooklyn is so close, and it's numbered. It's not hard, okay? So I was totally confused about that. So I was like, okay, Dad, this is how you get home, this, and that. But I didn't want him to drive at this point, so I ended up, following him, taking him with the car just to make sure he wouldn't get lost if anything were to happen. So now after this incident, I was getting very concerned, and I ended up calling my brother, speaking to my mother, and we all exchanged the conversation about this happened, that happened, things like that. And lo and behold, we took him to the doctor, and he was diagnosed with dementia. And at that time, it wasn't as bad. He was still independent. We could walk and stuff like that. And he could speak, obviously, conversation, things like that. But he started slowly. Well, actually, not really slow, because in 3 years, he has declined. So I guess he was rapidly, he declined. And he, at one point, when he came here, was so amazing. He did everything for everyone, and he was loved by everyone. He had a lot of friends. To prove how smart he is also, when he came, he only knew how to speak Italian. So since he was in America, he had to learn English, which he did. 2 languages down pat right there. Now that's pretty impressive, because most people can't even speak the English language here in the States. I hear how they speak, okay? So at this point, he spoke 2 languages. But when he first moved it from Italy, he moved to Sunset Park, which is primarily a Hispanic neighborhood. So guess what language he picked up? Yes, 3rd language, number 3, Spanish. So now he could talk to the people around us and friends and family, this, and that he's made, all in Spanish. Very, very impressive. Now you want to top it off? Top it off with someone who's so smart, picked up a fourth language. Guess what it was? Greek. Greek. He worked for some Greek guy for 10 years and ended up speaking Greek. Learned it and everything like that. And I wasn't fully aware of this until I hung out with Greek people, because when I worked at Kleinfeld, a lot of the people there, the seamstresses, were Greek. So I picked up a lot of things and stuff like that. And my Greek friends, but of course you pick up curse words, right? That's basically like the first thing you pick up from friends. So when I was driving at one point, I was cursing out some guy in front of me, and I started cursing in Greek, and he got so mad at me and he went off. And I'm like, all right, so he knows Greek words, big deal. But then I have a Greek friend at the time. When I went by her house and my father went to see his father to say hello, he just started going off and speaking in Greek. I was like, I was shocked, because honestly, I didn't know he really... Sorry, rude interruption. Got a phone call and the guy couldn't even speak English. So anyway, I'm going to continue my conversation about speaking English and learning languages. So yeah, I had Greek friends and I hung out with them. My father went along. I was like, hey, how you doing? Spoke to him in Greek. Totally liked. If I tell you, just totally liked. And also, he used to fix people's TVs, and he would spend a lot of money on the pieces that he put into the TVs. And when he went to the client's house to put it in and stuff like that, he didn't even make his money back. He would charge them less than what he paid for the product, all right, for the piece. And also would just hang out and exchange his work basically for chit chat and a cup of coffee. That's the type of man my father was, okay? Very good man. And to see how he is today, for someone such a good person that he is, for him to have dementia, and when you have evil people in this world out there who are nasty, okay, who don't care about anyone, who's not worth a penny, they're living high, mighty lives well into 60s, 70s, 80s, doing what they have to do. But this man at 68 is not himself anymore. Bothers the shit out of me. Okay, pisses me off, because you figure doing good, God will repay you, right? But listen, this is how life is and what we got dealt to us. So now you don't know the whole back end of that. So that's what happened. So now my father is at the stage of his life where we have to feed him, change him, bathe him. My mother needs help lifting him and moving him around. That I try to be home at night to help her take care of him. Because if I'm not, she struggles by herself. We live in a private house. I'm downstairs. I have my own apartment, and they're upstairs. I really, really wanted to move to Florida because I'm over New York and I'm over the cold. And I figured, why not be a snowbird? I still want to be in New York because my business is here and family and friends. But I figured this Florida could offer me a lot more too, because you could buy a mansion down there with acres of land for like 150, 200,000, opposed to here in New York where you're getting this much space for $1 million. Okay, so no brainer. Go there when it's cold here, right? And enjoy the sunshine and get away from the cold and snow here, which I cannot handle. But for the thought of me leaving my parents and doing that, I can't. The thought of just leaving my mother and going to Florida, I can't do. Trying to hold my composure. So you're seeing me in the raw because I'm speaking about something that is very important to me, because it's my family. And as much as I want to leave and come back and forth and enjoy myself and leave New York, how can I? How could I do that to my mother who's raised me my whole life? And it hurts me more sometimes than even seeing my father in his condition, because he at this point does not know what's going on, but my mother does. And it kills me to see her upset, crying, in pain, because she's watching the man she loves dwindle away. It's terrible. This disease is terrible. I do not wish it even on my worst enemy, because the person you know physically is gone, but you know they're still in there and they're inside, they're fighting, that they want to talk to you, they want to love you, because you can see in their eyes who they are. But unfortunately, they're not there. Mentally. Not totally inside in the heart. But so whenever I do go away, I have my friend who does me a huge favor, because I try to go away every once in a while because I need to regroup. And when I go away, she does me the favor, because she's such a sweet, good girl. She does me the favor and sits with my parents at night and keeps them company and makes sure my mother takes care of my father and brings him to bed and changes him and brushes his teeth and does what she has to do for my father, because she knows it will kill me if I were to go and leave my parents stranded alone at night. And she does me that favor. And friends like that are really hard to find, and she has grown a bond with my parents that she feels like they're her own parents. And that is something I feel like I can never pay it for. So anyway, so what triggered this video that I'm doing right now is when I was with my parents last night, which I'm with them all the time. So same thing, talk to my father, try to get him to interact, get ignored, okay? And things like that. And I'd sit with him while we're watching TV, whatever he could focus on, which, you know, he's not really focusing on it, but it's fine. He constantly falls over, which I cannot stand. We sit the poor man up and he falls over. Sit him up, falls over. Then he gets to the point where he's slipping that he's gonna fall off the couch. So I'm like looking at him, and then finally he said something. Words came out of him, and he's like, "Louis, sono Karen. Louis, sono Karen." Basically telling me in Italian that he's falling, okay? So I get up, and I go over to him, and I grab him, and I lean over him, and I'm like, "Give me a hug. Give me a hug." He gave me such a tight hug, so I could lift him because he's dead weight. I do not know how my mother does it. He gave me a hug, and I'm just grabbing him, and I'm lifting him, and I'm sitting him up straight, and I'm putting pillows, all the stuff behind him, and just making eye contact and staring at him in his eyes. I lost it. Brawled, started crying. And thank God my mother wasn't in the room at the moment. So I sat there about 5-10 minutes holding my father, just crying. Because when I looked at him, you could tell he's so dazed and he doesn't know what's going on. And we're to the point where he's trying to figure out where he is. Kills me. Kills me. So anyway, my mother ends up coming back into the room. And I was trying to, you know, wipe my tears so she can't tell. But obviously you could tell even now when it's not even heavy crying, right? She's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "Because of Dad." I don't know what else to say. As soon as I said that, she starts crying. And we both start crying, and it's a crying fest. So this is something that's really hard, and we all have a fear of the worst. And I really hope that one day something miraculous does happen, that God answers our prayers at some point. But it is what it is, and we have to cope and we have to deal with it. But I want you all to know that you are not alone. That your loved one is there, and they love and care for you no matter what. And they appreciate all you do for them. Keep loving them and treating them the same. Just because they don't remember everything and they're not there, they feel it. That is all. I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching and listening to me. Take care. Bye.